Hey folks, I am going to talk to you about the speech project number 2 assignment. And it's really important for you to listen to these instructions because we're not in the classroom and there are a lot of parts to this assignment. The pacing guide breaks it down for you in chunks, but there's just one packet that you're going to turn in at the end with your speech. So when you open up the speech project number 2 informative speech assignment, it says info speech packet, and there are a number of pages, and you want to read the directions carefully. There are 150 points here total, 100 for your speech and 50 for the preparation. And it's a speech grade, so that counts as 50% weighting in your grade at the end. So you can choose to give an informative speech about any kind of plant, animal, or any country in the world. You are going to find 3 articles in the Pattonville Library database. So you need a total of 3 sources. And one of the lessons this week is a library tutorial that shows you how to use the library databases remotely and gives you instructions for using the databases that will help you find plants, animals, and countries. So you want to choose your topic, narrow it down if you need to. So if you decide to do dogs, you may choose to narrow it down to a particular breed of dog or a particular category of dog. So you might decide, I want to do working dogs and talk about, the different types of dogs that do work. Or you might narrow it down even further to one particular breed of dogs and decide, I want to do Labrador retrievers, and do your whole speech on Labrador retrievers. That would be totally fine. So once you do that, you want to write a thesis statement. For the informative speech, a thesis statement is going to be kind of about like why it's important or why you think it's interesting to tell people about this plant, animal, or country. Why is it an interesting topic? Then you're going to do your research. You're going to gather your supporting material. You're going to organize the body of your speech, just like our last speech. And all of our speeches in here, you're going to have 3 main points. You'll plan out the rest of the parts of your introduction and conclusion. You are going to type up an outline, and I'll talk about that later. And then you're going to practice. And then finally, you're going to deliver your speech. And there are going to be 2 ways that you can decide to deliver your speech. You can either record yourself giving a live speech at home to an audience of at least 2 other people. And as you're recording, you need to show those 2 other people on camera to verify that you've got an audience. Or if you'd rather, you can sign up for a speech time and deliver your speech to me and a few other classmates on Google Meet. So you've got 2 choices depending on what your circumstances are and in terms of your time frame. Then there is a self-evaluation that you'll complete after you do your speech that you'll turn in along with this packet. So your speech ought to be about 5 minutes. There's a grace period, 4 to 6 minutes. It's what it says on the packet. And there's a scoring guide in here that shows you how many points everything is worth. So the first item that I want you to do today is the topic selection sheet. And this is your brainstorming. You're going to write out your thesis. So what's your topic and why is it important? Then think about what you want your main points to be. So if your topic is dogs, what are 3 things that you want to tell people about dogs? And then this last part, the supporting material, may be something that you wait to do until you've done your research. Because you might not know what your details are yet, but this is going to come from your research. So if your first main point is, what do dogs eat? Then your supporting details are going to relate to a dog's diet. So after you do the library tutorial, you will do 3 research sheets, one for each of your sources. And you're going to identify at the top whether your source is a newspaper article or a magazine article. It's going to come from some sort of database. So it's going to probably be one of those 2 things. You're going to put the title and the author, the title of the magazine or newspaper. And then here is where you're going to take notes from the article. You're going to put down what your 3 main points are, and it's going to be the same for every article. And you'll write notes about what the article has to say on your points. Now, it's possible that an article will not have any information about some of your main points, and that's okay. Your article does not have to talk about all 3 of your points. Maybe your first article only deals with what dogs eat, and so you only have notes in this first column, and these 2 columns are blank. That's totally fine because you've got 2 other sources that you're going to look at, and you could have sources that deal with main point 2 and main point 3. Maybe your first source talks about your first point and your third point. You've got notes in the first column and the third column, but your middle column is blank. That's okay too. It doesn't matter how many of your points each article talks about. Just at the end of the day, you're going to have 3 sources, and in those 3 sources, you're going to find support for each of your 3 main points in some combination. So you've got research sheet 1, research sheet 2, research sheet 3. Okay? After we do the research sheets, you are going to type an outline of your speech. And I am going to have a separate video on that to help you with the instructions for that. But you'll prepare your outline and you'll use that to practice and then to deliver your speech. And then you'll see here the rubric for the speech. And the last thing is your self-evaluation. So after you give your speech, either to the audience in your house or the audience on Google Meet, you will fill out this self-evaluation. Then you're going to turn in this whole packet here at the end of the week. And I will have your speech, either I will have viewed it on Google Meet or you will submit your video on Flipgrid that you recorded at home. So if you have any questions about how to do this packet, please let me know early in the week. You can send me an email. You can come to office hours. You can send me an email saying you want to meet at a different time. I want to talk to you about it early so that there's no confusion, because I want to make sure that you feel confident going into giving your speech at the end of the week. Thank you.